You're welcome to Women's World Show. Here we use the breakthrough moments and word of a successful woman to inspire and motivate you. We measure success not by the amount of money in the pocket, but by the effort we make on a daily basis to achieve our goal. We believe that every woman has a story, so share yours with us. And my name is Clara. Joining me today is an amazing woman. She has been working for the past 25 years as a therapist, and for the 15 years helping people through eating disorder, and currently she is guiding people through to find their path, find their true self. She will be leading us into her world and at the same time discuss the topic of the day with me, which is eating disorder and finding your true self. Please welcome to the show, Big Eden. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate that you make it out to come and join us and share this amazing journey with us. When you started eating disorder, or when you looked through like why people do not eat right, what actually got you to it?
Because we have, facts is that we have 3 different, or actually 4 or 5 different eating disorders,
right.
And they're very different from each other.
Yeah.
So we have anorexia, that the most people know about because people don't eat. And then we have bulimia, and that's eating, and then vomiting.
Right.
Yeah. And then we have overeating, and that's the most common 3.
And that comes with obesity or something, or not? No.
No, it depends.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have a kind of healthy eating disorder. So you can have a healthy eating disorder. You think you're eating healthy, but you know it's very controlled too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's more legal. You can hide behind the healthy eating stuff.
Because a lot of people are actually getting into all these healthy eating. I want to look like so kind of person, and you cut yourself a lot of things. Maybe they're not enough. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So we.
So actually, yeah, and the last one is more common nowadays, because you can do that in the name of eating healthy, having a controlled life.
Yes.
Concerning eating as well. So why you have an eating disorder? To me, working 15 years with it, I have of course some more or less understanding about it, but you know, eating disorder is a symbol of having something else wrong.
Right.
So it's a language to tell your environment that there is something wrong.
When I was growing up, bless the soul of my mom, she died last year. She died a few months ago. She was on the big side, and growing up, I saw her in that form, and I knew how she struggled with the weight. And I growing, I think I was about 15 years or 16 or 17, and I said to myself, I will never be fat, you know. And all of a sudden, I realized that I stopped eating a lot of things. And I remember I was in the boarding school then. I started drinking slimming tea. Yeah. And I don't eat enough, but I drink slim tea. Yeah. So when we talked about this eating disorder, I was like, this is actually what happened to me. Actually, maybe I did not eat right, because I was just scared of being big. Yeah. Not that I don't love my mom, but I knew she struggled with it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry, but.
Yeah, but that's common. You know, suddenly something.
I think I made that mistake, and I know that a lot of women out there are doing the same thing.
Exactly, and you know, you always have your mom as a role model.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
And when you have that, and you see what she's doing, and probably the most of us do the opposite.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, but that also makes sense, because I remember if she said if there's something she would change growing up, it was that. It's her size. is the eating, is not, you know, controlling the weight. And maybe I'm doing it right now, and that is what I need to know from you, more of it, but more we dig more of how to get to really get the self-balance, self-care, and know all about it. But we'll do that right after the break. Welcome back again to Women's World Show. If you are just joining us, here we use the breakthrough moment and word of a successful woman to inspire and motivate you. And we say that we don't measure success by the amount of money in your pocket, but by the effort you make on a daily basis to achieve your goal. We believe that every woman has a story. Today with me, I've been amazing Bigide, and she has so much experience, 25 years as a therapist. And we've been talking about, I didn't know that talking about my mom would get me in this position of getting a little bit tensed, but I'm glad that I have someone to discuss it with. I want to get to that point of finding my true self, because a lot of people are actually doing a lot of things wrong, doing it right. I think I was saying something to you and I said, finding eating disorder or what. You were like, no, there's a process before really realizing the eating disorder, that you are doing it wrong. What do I have to do to find my true self? Is that a question I need to ask?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but it's for everybody.
Yeah.
It's not only if you have a disorder of anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's why I think if we take eating disorder, yes, it's says by WHO, yes, the health organization, that is a mental illness. I don't see it as that.
No.
I see it as a problem that something is wrong. And I see it, if we cut it very narrow, I see it that you are not connected to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that is why so many people get a disorder. You can drink alcohol, you can take drugs, you can have an eating disorder, you can have sexual abusement, you can have work issues.
Yeah.
But it all comes down by finding
and connecting to yourself.
How do I connect to myself?
Yes. How do you do that?
Yes. I need to learn.
I know that, and from my understanding, I have a frame of two paths. The one path that I always do with my client, also with the eating disorder clients, it's on a personal level.
Right.
Yeah, and I call that personal self empowerment.
Right.
Yes.
Self-empowerment.
Yeah, and that is coming from going through therapy to actually know yourself better, why you do this and that, what kind of patterns you have, so you don't bump into these holes all the time. Yes. So you have to learn about your personal issues.
Right.
What family you grew up in, how they treated you, maybe some bad things, not bad things.
Because that's a way of playing in your head.
Yes. And the last thing you have to do in this kind of path, that is the personal path, is to get rid of your ego. Your ego is so strong.
Yeah,
yes.
about that.
Yeah. And everybody is driven by your ego. Yes. And the ego is very strong because it always connects you with fear and lack.
Yes.
Yes. Lack is the most common thing that every people have. So if you want to work really deep with yourself, you see yourself, what do I actually miss in my life? Yes. What am I afraid to have or have not?
Yeah, like what are my failures? What are the options of failing? Does it have any does it make sense?
More or less lack of love, lack of money, lack of a boyfriend, a lack of children, or lack of any excess, very deep things in your life.
But then accepting my ego in that sense of lack. Let's say, for example, I can't have a child.
Yeah.
How do I accept that ego that keeps killing me inside, that I know I want it, but they say I can't? How do I accept it?
You're supposed, when you cannot have children and your biggest hope is that you would like to have a child, yes, you have to go very deep and embrace your sorrow and go through a grieving period of.
No, that makes sense. Embrace your sorrow. I like that. I like that word.
Yeah, you really do that, because if you just push it away, it will always be there. Yeah, and it will be inside you like a little haunting.
I don't know why I'm so passionate. I'm feeling like I'm really shivering, because I connect with everything you're saying. I really do, and I'm shivering, and I don't know why, because it just feels like everything in life is like that fear of something, lack of something, and that fear of trying to, not wanting to embrace that this is actually happening. What would you tell a guy who, for example, on the streets, who is on the streets struggling, have lost it because maybe grew up from a family, a disorder family, let's just put it that way. What would you say to a guy like that, to say, is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? To go around on the streets smoking? Because I grew up in Africa, you know, and there are a lot of things like that, people like that. So what would you say to a guy like that, to say, find who you are? Yeah. What would you say? How would that person whose head is already damaged somehow find his true self? How?
It's a long way, Clara. It is. It actually is. But I would probably sugarcoat him with love in the first place.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because he's lacking love.
Yeah.
Thank you. You've just answered my question.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, I will give him and teach him a lesson about life.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, life loves you. It really do. And life is the source of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you give it a chance.
Yes. And I'll probably take him with me and have a good talk, and then see if I can do something to connect with him too, so I can show him how he could connect with himself.
Right.
Yeah. But it's a long way.
It is, I agree. And oh my God, it's really a very emotional one, because it's something that everybody is struggling with every day, and we can go on and on about it.
But you really have to, you really have to divide these two paths, because some is here for your personal experience, and the other thing is always here.
Right.
Yeah. Your connection with God.
Yes.
Yeah. The source, life, universe, whatever.
Whatever you believe in. Yes. Yeah.
But you really have to have the faith and the trust that life loves you, because if you're coming from the lack-based personal mind, you will never have this other thing. And you need to go deep inside you and find that inner trust in yourself, that God is there for you. And God, I mean, of course, again, source, life. Yeah.
Yes. Whatever you believe in.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I don't know, myself, I can feel a thing in my stomach about something. Does it feel right? I can just feel it, like there's something about it that doesn't feel right. Is that how I can, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your heart is actually the true self that speaks from the universe.
I totally agree, actually.
And your stomach sometimes is making like that. And then you know this is totally off. Yeah. So don't listen to it. And if somebody comes, probably your mom has done it, or your husband or something. No, that's not right. You don't have to. No, but I can feel this squeezing, and my heart is not. No, this is not right. So stay there because your feeling is always teaching you the right path.
But I could also see from personal experience, again, that it took me time. I think it took time, life experience, to actually come to this point where I can say, okay, there's something about this thing that I don't really like. And it feels, I can't sleep, you know. And I think it takes time and life experience for people to come to that point of accepting the reality of situations. Yeah.
And that's also because it's so hard for eating disorders people to get free from it again, because they don't listen to this kind of thing. They're totally shut off.
But that's the thing, because there's a lot of things on social media now or on the internet. I, for one, we have a lot of eating programs that you have to follow this, you have to do that, you have to listen to what would you say to somebody who is trying to find the right paths to make sure, okay, I'm eating the right food? What would you say to somebody to know? Do I have to go to the doctor to be sure I have the right blood type and everything?
I totally hate, it's a very strong word, I know that, but diet plans.
Yeah.
Because it can go very direction, and it can go so wrong. Right. I've seen so many people try to control the eating and so on, and they ended up with eating disorders.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to be very carefully. You have to you have to understand that some is right for you and some is right for some other person. Right. Yeah. And also that is culture based. Yeah. Because you're growing different herbs and vegetables.
It is culture based. I think I agree with the culture thing.
And also the climate, of course. So you have to all the time listen into it, ask yourself, is this right for me?
Because actually your stomach tells you when you're eating something wrong.
Exactly.
But because it tastes good, like, let me just get it in.
It's like a child. Mommy, can I have an ice cream for the third time? I feel for an ice cream. Yes, you are feeling for an ice cream, but you don't
need it. Yeah, because it just tastes too damn good.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. That brings me to my next question about children. Yeah. How do we get the children to know the path to follow, to learn? Because I have a small child. So I'm really, I'm tense sometimes. Sometimes I'm asking myself, am I doing the right thing or am I doing the wrong thing? How do I really show her what is right and what is wrong?
Yeah. We never do the right things.
Right?
Yeah.
I would love to know more about that, but we'll continue right after the break, and I'll tell you to grab your coffee and come on back. Welcome back again to Women's World Show. Are you just joining us? You've been missing a lot because it has really been a juicy one with Biggie. She has amazing experience, a therapist who has worked so much for the past 25 years, getting all these things together with eating disorder, helping people to find their balance, find their true self, and I am really learning a lot. And we were talking just before the break about how to tell a child to find their true self, because I have a little child.
First of all, you have to forgive yourself, because coming from a place that you should be right in everything you do to a child, you cannot be. You cannot be. Because if we take this out of
our own child,
they have to feel they have to be perfect also. Yeah. So, coming from a place that nothing can be perfect, it's very, very good for a child. That's one thing.
Believe.
Yeah, just say. And for another thing is, a child is not yours.
Okay.
Yeah. The child has been brought to you, through you,
yes,
but it's not yours.
That I agree. In one way. In another way, I disagree.
It is not your child.
Okay.
You have born it, but it's the source, the life, as we talked about before,
Yes.
that has brought the child through you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this soul can learn from you, and you can learn from the child.
Yeah, that I agree.
Yes. So you have made an agreement with your child before it came here, and other way around. Okay? Yes. To learn something coming here.
Right.
And that is on a personal development basic. Okay? And also, the child has made, the soul of the child has made a contract with itself, coming here to do something good on earth.
Right.
Yes?
But do you...
And
Yeah.
it's your obligation to be with your child and listen and watch and see what is this contract the child has been doing with itself. But you are not supposed to interfere in any way to speak or to say what this child should do.
What I understand is that it's good to let the children watch them make choices and maybe guide them sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, children, they are born with this consciousness.
Right.
They are born with it, but we take it from them because we tell them all the time what is wrong or right. So sometimes they adopt your opinions and then they totally cut off what they know is true for them.
It's true.
Yeah. So that's why we have to take care of what we are telling them, because they stop listening to the inner voice, you know, and the heart.
I just need you to give a few words of advice to a teenager out there listening, or maybe somebody who is an adult or whatever. What would you say to them about social media and finding your true path?
I would say take your children away from the social medium and give them only 1 hour a day. Go out and let them connect with nature.
Thank you so much. It has really, really been an interesting segment, and I would love to have you again soon. Absolutely, this has really been nice. Yes, but before we let you go, in the spirit of making mistakes and having some failures in life, we want you to share a little thing that's one of the most embarrassing things that happened to you. Embarrassing that you laughed about it and like,
I think also I have done some mistakes about listening to my children.
Wow. Okay. Are they listening? I'm sure your mom just accepted that she made some mistakes, and that is really good to accept. And that is listening to your ego.
I try to embrace it.
Yeah, you're embracing it. Yeah. That is absolutely embracing it. So that is pretty good. And it's not embarrassing anymore now that you've said it out, right? Thank you so much for coming. And like I said, we have a present for you, and that is this, our cup, actually. So nice. You have your cup, yes. And it's a team that you go home and you have Women's World Show cup, because you have shared, you have really used a part of you to inspire someone out there. Your journey, your path, your experience, you've shared it with someone out there, and that is the cup. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
so welcome. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. It has really been an interesting segment, and I hope you get a lot, because I have learned so much. I hope you join us next time on our next episode. Remember, every woman has a story, and yours is not an exception. Share yours with us. For more information about my guests, go to www.womensworldshow.com. I love you for watching.